welcome to Rock Bottom Basics for Guitar, lesson 0.6. And this one is about chords, finally. And I'll try and look in the camera lens. That's better. Chords, what are they for? What are they and what are they for? So you can make a tune with single notes. Like, let's say for instance, but kind of basic and kind of empty and would get boring after a short time. Chords are several notes played together to produce a more complex sound, a sound with more texture, a sound with more feeling. So for instance, a G major chord is quite different than a G. An A chord, that's an A major, A minor. Can you hear the difference between an A major and an A minor? Here's the A major, here's the A minor. Try another one like that. Here's a D, here's a D minor. So the minor chord is more sad feeling, if you like. Okay, so chords consist of at least two notes, usually three notes. The root note, which gives the chord its name. So let's say a G chord. Hang on, you can't see my fingers. Here we go. A G chord. There's the G, the root note. Fattest string, 3rd fret. The rest of the chord looks like that. And it consists of the root, G, the 3rd and the 5th. Those are the minimum three notes to give you a major chord. So G, A, B, which is the 3rd, C, D, which is the 5th. And they can appear in almost any order, but there you go. That's a G major. That's a G major. That's a G major. So there are several notes played together. But what are they for? Well, they're to give a tune or a song more interest, more texture, and what's called harmony. I mean, this was just discovered by people singing combinations of notes together, and at some point you would get that, oh, sweet spot, those three notes together sound really good. Wrote them down and that became known as a chord. But it's not just chords on their own that are important, it's sequences of chords. So what comes first, what comes second, what comes third gives you a kind of musical story in a different way than a melody of single notes. For instance, can you feel how there's a kind of a movement there? So that was E followed by an F, followed by a G, followed by an A. All major chords for now. So there are various progressions or chords in order which give you different results, and there are some which fit very nicely into what the human ear hears as a nice tune, which has a kind of story and then a resolution and then another story and then another resolution, which became known as verses. So I mean, the most famous is probably the 1-4-5-1 blues progression. So if we start the 1 as a G, then the C is the 4, and then the D is the 5, and then back to G. So reggae, but also blues and many other songs and tunes. So for somebody learning to play the guitar, what are they, these chords? Well, they're shapes. They're a pattern on the fretboard, just like the scale patterns where your fingers press down certain strings at certain frets. And they can be learned just as simply as that. So you have to basically use 2 or 3 or even 4 fingers to simultaneously hold down certain strings on certain frets. Once you've learned one pattern, you've learned that chord and you've learned it forever. So it's tricky at first, but it becomes second nature. Okay, that's not all there is to say about chords by any means. So the next lesson, or maybe even the next 2 lessons I do, will also focus on chords and some other things as well. So thanks very much for listening. I'll see you at the next lesson. Okay, bye.